Now, I feel incredibly fortunate to have been able to help literally hundreds of thousands of dog owners around the world choose the right breed for them and then help become the perfect canine companion for them, their life, their experience. And the reality is that when you've worked with as many dogs as I have, even though we love dogs as canine professionals, I promise you, even if they won't admit it, we all have our favourite breeds to work with and our breeds that we really don't like working with. And in this video, I'm going to be completely open and honest about some of the breeds that I really don't enjoy working with. Now, the first breed is the Siberian Husky. Now, a lot of people don't know that I actually used to own a Siberian Husky. It was the first dog that I ever rescued and rehabilitated and lived an incredibly rewarding and fulfilling life with us. And since rescuing and rehabilitating that Siberian Husky, I've also lost count of the amount of Huskies that I've worked with. And the reality is, and I'll be completely honest, of one of the reasons that I wanted to rescue and rehabilitate that Husky in the first place, and I think if other Husky owners were being completely open and honest themselves, is that the driving force behind getting that breed is how they look. Because they do look absolutely beautiful. They are absolutely stunning. Arguably one of the most beautiful dog breeds in the canine kingdom. However, even as somebody who has been guilty of this in the past, I'm trying my best to help people not make those same mistakes and not choose breeds based on looks. And when it comes to the Siberian Husky, they have an incredibly high energy output, bred to be able to run for dozens of miles every single day in incredibly harsh climates, means that they rarely have the kind of physically rewarding lifestyle that they require when coming into our normal pet dog homes. And the reality is that their temperament and characteristics are one that makes them very aloof. They're not very handler driven, which means that they don't necessarily seek guidance and direction. And I find that they're much more like cats than they are like dogs. They're also incredible drama queens, which makes them really difficult to train, especially if you're working on behaviour modification. And all of those things combined have just got me to a point where Siberian Huskies just aren't a breed I enjoy training. And as somebody that has the high levels of demand for my services that I do, I tend to send Huskies to other trainers that enjoy the breed much more and might specialise in the breed. And I dedicate my time to the breeds that I really enjoy training and that my style, system and experience is much better suited to. Which takes me on to the second breed that I'm simply not a huge fan of, and that is the Dachshund. Now, the Dachshund has boomed in popularity recently, and I believe that just like the Siberian Husky, the reality is, if people were being completely honest about why they chose to get a Dachshund, was because of the way they look. Now, Dachshunds are gamey little dogs that were bred to be incredibly tenacious hunters, but if people get them for the lifestyle of chilling on a sofa, maybe as an Instagram accessory, you are setting you and them up for failure. That is not a breed that is well suited to that kind of lifestyle. And I highly, highly suggest that if you are getting a breed just because you think that they look cool, the likelihood is that you and them are not going to be happy in the long run. And I see this every single day with Dachshunds. They tend to suffer with reactivity in extreme measures. They are very, very yappy little dogs. And because of the boom in popularity in them, it means that a lot of people are getting them with no real commitment to doing much with them. And it leads them down a path to become very obnoxious, frustrating little dog breeds that simply, for me, are not a joy to work with. Now, don't get me wrong, I have met a handful of people that got Dachshunds that may have admit that they got them because they like the way that they look, but they absolutely put the work in to train them. And the reality is that Dachshunds require a lot of training, and if you do commit to that level of training, they can be cool, fun little dogs, which is the reality for most breeds, is that there are bad examples and there are good examples of each breed. There are bad owners that have them and there are good owners that have them. But the reality is that when breeds boom in popularity like the Dachshunds, oftentimes that might skew towards the kind of owners that might not be prepared, skilled, or have the desire to put the work in that's required, that might be getting them for the wrong reasons, and then people are surprised that they develop all of the problem behaviors. But for those of you that have committed to training them, you don't need to come after me, because I promise you I've met plenty of you out there. But it doesn't change the fact that when I get a message into my inbox of somebody trying to book in with one, that my heart sinks a little bit, and I'd rather that message have been from a Labrador. Now, before we dive into the third breed that I really just have come to not enjoy working with and training, I wanted to mention a couple of things that might be really useful for you. Now, if you're watching this because you're considering what breed you're going to get, you need to make sure that you're training them properly, like we just discussed. And to help you do that, I've created a completely free course called My Principles of Perfect Puppy Training, which will be exactly what you need to get started on your journey of turning whatever breed you end up with into your perfect canine companion. There'll be a link to that in the description box below. However, if you need more help from somebody with the level of experience and knowledge that I have around breeds, how to get them right, what can often go wrong, and which breeds are best suited for you and your lifestyle, I have my Perfect Breed consultation service that we can work one-to-one together in a completely private, bespoke manner, where we can get to know each other and I can help you choose the perfect breed for you. Again, there'll be a link in the description box below if you're interested in that service. But the final breed I want to talk about in this video is the Shar-Pei. Now, I'm not going to name and shame any other trainers, but I can tell you that it is incredibly common for dog trainers and canine behaviorists to simply not enjoy working with the Shar-Pei. They seem to be a breed that develop behavior problems very, very easily, and when they do develop them, they tend to be incredibly significant problems that are also incredibly difficult to fix. Pair that with their natural tendencies, characteristics, and general demeanor, make them a dog that is very rarely a lovable, happy-go-lucky, well-behaved, well-trained, well-socialized canine companion, because there are a lot of things and hurdles that are put in their way historically and genetically that make it difficult for everyday owners to be able to get them there. Now, again, there are great examples of Shar-Peis. However, as somebody who has seen the amount of dogs that I have and seen as many go wrong as I have, you also see when things go wrong, the things that go seriously wrong. And when you talk to other trainers and other behaviorists to the extent that I have about these topics, there's no surprise and no secret to me that the Shar-Pei is at the top of that list.